here we go. Stream is up and running. Make sure we get the stream going good right now. I think we're okay. There we go. Excellent. There we go. The stream is live, starting a couple minutes early to make sure everything is good. Let's take a look at the sound. Take a look at the feed. Make sure the emails go out. Test, test. Hey, Beats, No Bats. How's it going? Thanks for coming back to the stream. Just starting a little early just to get everything up and running. Hopefully we have a pretty good stream today coming off my vacation. Feels good getting some content back again with you guys. So, making sure everything's good. Since you're the first one into the chat, the drink of tonight is some Dr. Pepper. We're doing some Dr. Pepper tonight. Not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but if they're watching, I'd love to be sponsored by Dr. Pepper. I love me some pepper. Hey, Tony, thank you very much for coming to the stream, my friend. Let's see, it's beets as in veggies, not bats. As in animals. Beets as in... Okay, beets as in the beet. Gotcha. Understood. Tony, thanks for coming in the chat, my friend. Again, I got your package. It was very, very cool. I read something very similar to it in the DC Nation that came out. Comic book stores usually, when they're linked with Diamond Comics, they usually get like these free magazines, which is really, really cool. Yeah, absolutely. The comic shop, I think they were Comic Shop News, I think they were called. When I was collecting books years ago, whenever I would be on the way out of the store, they always had those comic, I think they're called the Comic Shop News. There'd be like stacks of them on the way out of the actual stores. And I always grabbed the current months or current weeks Comic Shop News, and I always loved reading the information in those. I always liked those. They're very, very cool. I'm all over the place today, Beat. Don't worry about it. So we're gonna have a pretty good stream tonight. Again, I'm coming off of my vacation. Hey, Jackie, thanks for coming into the chat with me today. It's gonna be a pretty good stream. A lot of stuff going on to talk about. As you saw in the thumbnail, one of the things I wanted to really discuss was YouTube and how to break into it, or more importantly, how I broke into it. What some of the pros and the cons were that I encountered with YouTube. I just want to give you guys a little bit of knowledge in case you're looking to go into YouTube. Something I can maybe give you information about to save you some trouble. Or if you're digging for research, give you how I approached it. So we're going to go talk about that absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. It's still a little bit congested. I had like a massive allergy attack a few days ago. I still feel a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was. It's getting better, but it was a pretty bad allergy attack. Oh, okay, that's cool. Did not know that. I've always been a fan of Japanese culture and stuff like that. I would love to eventually go to Japan, just because I think it's a really cool place. But unfortunately, it requires a lot of travel, and I am a big scaredy cat when it comes to flying. I'm what they call acrophobic. I'm scared of heights. I get very, very shaky when I get, let's say, on a big building, going on an elevator up. I get I get a lot of vertigo. I get very, very dizzy because of that. Drink for tonight. People just came into the stream. We're doing some old school Dr. Pepper, the SEC cans. I think these are college themed cans. I'm not entirely sure. But, so the stream's going to start right now. Thank you for all coming back into the stream. Again, I had a 2-week vacation. I had a little bit of burnout. I wanted to take a vacation. I haven't had one since 2016, starting this particular channel. And I wanted to take some time off for myself for a change, because I was having some dental work done, and my birthday just passed on the 13th of September. I wanted to have some time off to myself, and I was very, very grateful for that time. So, let me let you know what I kind of picked up for birthday gifts. For my girlfriend, there's 2 items here. I'm not showing the third one. I want to do a full video on that third item because it's very, very big, very, very expensive. Excuse me. So you might have saw an Instagram picture of it. As you know, or you may or may not know if you're new to my channel, I'm a big fan of Bullet Club, big fan of independent wrestling, and she went on a company called, a website called High Spots, and there was something that we picked up a business card several shows ago when we were at SuperCon. I think it was last year. and I had a booth there for High Spots, and she had a card, and she knew that I was a big Young Bucks fan and Bullet Club, and the Young Bucks have 2 sets of different variant pops. One was a Hot Topic 2-pack, one was the standard red and black outfit. So she was able to, it wasn't super expensive, she didn't tell me the price, but she did in fact get me the 2-pack, signed by the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, for Funko, with a legit, I always say legit, meaning it was a real certificate of authenticity. If I say something that's legit in the video, usually it's something that's valuable or something that's not cheap. That's what I mainly use in the word legit. So there is a certificate of authenticity that they did have of signing it, which I thought was extremely cool. As you may or may not know, I'm also a big AJ Styles fan, and one of the items she got for me was a signed AJ Styles pop as well. This one came from Beckett. Beckett, if you're not familiar, was pretty much the end-all be-all when it came to sports memorabilia, trading cards, especially trading cards, stuff that came, let's say, signed or numbered, or if they were specialty cards. Usually Beckett is probably, and they also have a price guide that they're known for. So Beckett's well-known, well-established in the sports trading business when it came to collectibles. That's the word I'm looking for. So I did, in fact, get an AJ Styles signed pop. So these guys are definitely in the collection. What you may see going forward in a few weeks is a change to my studio. I'm going to be rearranging some stuff, and it's going to look a little bit different when I actually put it all together. I'm going to be putting out a video of storage for Funko. And it's something I have not yet touched base on, and I thought it'd be a very, very good video to talk about going forward. That's going to happen in a couple weeks, not doing it yet. This coming Wednesday, I'm going to be drawing the winner of the Star Wars Last Jedi prize pack giveaway. It ended. I had a very, very big turnout for it. I'm definitely going to be pull the winner on this coming Wednesday. I didn't pull it like I would have about 2 weeks ago, only because of the vacation getting in the way. So that's going to be pulled this coming Wednesday. That's going to be Wednesday's video, the winner for the Star Wars Last Jedi podcast. Excuse me, the Star Wars Last Jedi Funko prize pack giveaway. Last Jedi podcast is something completely different. So, this entire video, what am I going to be talking about? Actually, video, this stream, what am I going to be talking about? It's going to be how to break into YouTube. What did I do? The good points and points that were not really so good. How did I do it? A lot of people may be out there, you might be asking yourself, how did you do it? How did I actually get into YouTube? Well, this is what this stream is going to be all about. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to run for about an hour, I'm hoping, based on what I think I have my material for. I do have I actually did write some notes down, so I'm going to be using some notes in this particular stream. I did jot some stuff down today to talk about with you guys. So, let's get to it. I'm going to take a drink real quick here, and we'll get into it. So first and foremost, let's say you want to make a YouTube channel. What do you need to do? How do you go about it? It's a very daunting task, especially coming from a perspective of maybe you watch some people on YouTube, you like what they do, but you really don't know, or you want to dip your toe into that YouTube sort of pond, but you don't know how to attack it. What's the right way to go about doing it? There's tons of books probably out there that can teach you. There's a lot of channels that are dedicated specifically doing content of how to break into YouTube. So I'm going to tell you how I did it. I'm going to give you my pros and cons, my takeaways, so to speak, from how I did stuff with YouTube. But don't mind me, I have an itchy nose tonight. So first and foremost, before you do anything, before you shoot any content whatsoever, not yet, AA, I'm going to, I just have not yet done so. I definitely want to, I just haven't got around to it yet. So, first thing you want to do is you want to basically invest in some type of notebook to write down your thoughts of what you want this channel to do. So the first thing I have listed on my list, I have my little 10 bullet points here that I'm going to be talking about. The very first thing you want to do is ask yourself, what type of channel do you want to build? When I came in to start YouTube July 4th, 2016, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I was into collecting. At one time, I was collecting Transformers and G.I. Joe. I transitioned out of that into Funko. That's how I actually started my collection. About 5 years ago, I started into Funko. So I got out of G.I. Joe and Transformers. And I knew for a fact I liked Funko stuff. I liked action figures. I liked statues because I had a few pieces, not a whole lot. And I started doing subscription unboxings, where I would just basically buy the boxes and I liked the stuff inside of it. I had a lot of fun opening these mystery boxes up. I definitely dug it. I thought, you know what? I do these 4 points, and I think I can make a channel around that. I think that would be a good foundation to begin this whole thing with. And mind you, I always tell people when I bring up my story for YouTube, I came from a perspective of not an actor, no graphic design work. I didn't know how to do editing whatsoever. I came, when you have someone who's starting YouTube, might have a, background in graphic design, or they might know stuff about Photoshop, or they might, be good photographers. I had zero knowledge, completely blank slate. Everything that I learned on the fly. I learned it through other YouTubers, learning from their craft, trying to pick up points, sort of reverse engineer what they did and take bits of their content or their ideas and make it into my style. That's what I basically did. So what I did was, I always say to yourself, before you start shooting your videos, ask yourself, what do you want, type of channel do you want to make? Yeah, I was very, very peaceful and mellow. Someone, I would say nervous, extremely nervous, because I never did it before. I didn't really know the right way or the wrong way to go about attacking a video. Most content creators might have a full script laid out, and they will read it word for word off this script. I don't really do that when I do my videos. I have an idea of what I'm going to go with when I shoot a video. I know how I'm going to block it out. I know how my videos start. I know how my videos end. And I know the middle portion is usually the most time-consuming portion for me. Because I usually shoot my videos in 3 segments. I have a beginning, I have a middle, and I have an end. That's how I usually do it. Yeah, thank you, Jackie. People just came into the chat today. We got some Dr. Pepper. Cheap plug to Dr. Pepper. That's today's drink. So that's what I would recommend first, is figure out what type of channel you want to build. Before you construct anything, write that down. Write down, I'm going to be doing video reviews. I'm going to be doing unboxings. I'm going to be doing whatever. Know what type of thing, know what type of audience you want to go after. That's what I'd recommend first and foremost. And it could be a very competitive environment. Funko reviews are extremely competitive. Action figure reviews are extremely competitive. Toy hunts, they're competitive, but I won't say as competitive as those ones. Unboxing videos, as far as subscription unboxing videos, there isn't competition for that. Statues, not so much. Hey, Knight, how's it going? Thanks for coming into the chat. This is going to be a very, very cool chat tonight. So, that's what I recommend first. I had to get my train of thought back there. What type of channel do you want to build? Write that out first. Before you shoot one bit of content, figure out what you want to do. Now, I would say after that, make a point to yourself, what type of message are you going to want to talk about? Is this going to be a review channel? Is this going to be an unboxing channel? Very similar to the first point. Are you going to be doing gaming? I'm going to be pulling that one Wednesday, Nightcore. Wednesday is going to be the giveaway. I just haven't done it yet because I just got off my vacation. Technically Sunday. I shot a video on Sunday, which I shouldn't have because I was technically still on vacation, but I got itchy to put some content out. This coming Wednesday is going to be doing the giveaway. So what type of message are you going to want to talk about? Are you going to, is it educational? Or is it something you're trying to talk about, some type of an event or a thing? Is it going to be news related? Is it going to be pop culture? What message are you trying to reach out to an audience? That's what I recommend talking about next. My channel, for instance, I wanted to talk about, again, reviews, unboxings. Toy hunting came later. Toy hunting is something that's kind of odd for me, and I'll talk about that in a second here, because most YouTubers have one thing or maybe 2 things they will dabble with. There are channels out there specifically for toy hunting, and all they do is toy hunting. Subscription unboxing videos, all they do is subscription unboxing videos. That's it. Nothing else. That's all they do. I'm sort of an enigma when it comes to my channel. I do multiple things. I do 5 different types of content. I do subscription unboxing, Funko reviews, action figure breakdowns, statue reviews, and toy hunting. I do 5 different sort of things, and my channel is very diversified in those sort of aspects, and that's part of the reason why my channel hasn't really grown as much as it could have. Definitely do it, Nightcore. Absolutely. Write down the ideas of what you want your cartoon theory and reviews to be about. You want to talk about, are you going to be talking about old school cartoons? Are you going to be talking about newer cartoons? Are you going to talk about traditional animation? Are you talking about stuff like Looney Tunes and Warner Brother cartoons? Are you talking to more Japanese animation? You're going to talk about older Japanese animation. Write down what you want your content to be about. Make these bullet points of stuff you want to discuss to get your point out to an audience. Number 3, make YouTube a thing for you. Don't expect a get-rich-quick scheme. Very few YouTubers out there make any real money on YouTube now, especially with the changes for monetization structure that happened in February 2018. And what I mean by that, when I started the channel back in 2016 on July 4th, my channel was monetized, meaning I was getting ad revenue for my channel. It's literally, and I kid you not, guys, there's no lie here, it is literally pennies on the dollar. I mean that literally. It's literally pennies on the dollar. I have put in hundreds of hours into my channel. Now, it's not necessarily lazy nightcore. It's okay to make a script. I'm just not that guy who follows a script. Mainly because I can't really memorize a huge block of text that way. I can memorize bits and pieces of text. Again, I'm not that guy. I'm not an actor. I don't try to be an actor. I don't have the look. I don't have the delivery. I'm not an actor in any shape, way, or form. But I think I'm a person that can deliver content out that is truthful, on point, and can give an audience their information quickly. And I'll talk about speed in a little bit. But as far as monetization goes for YouTube, it was linked to a piece of Google called AdSense. They handled the ad revenue portion of YouTube. And what I mean, guys, is I can truthfully tell you, I can't tell you how much I made because of non-disclosure agreements because of YouTube. And the last thing I want to do is burn a bridge with YouTube. My monetization was lost in February. And I made literally enough money to fill your gas tank of your car one time. If you imagine how much it takes to fill your gas tank for most cars with standard unleaded gasoline, think of the range of that. That's basically how much you actually get. Yeah, I was going to get to that, AA. So the change that AA mentioned was the way YouTube decided to change monetization was that in a 12-month period of time, you must have 4,000 minutes, or excuse me, 4,000 hours of concurrent watch time. Meaning from 12 months straight, you have to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers to be monetized. If you don't hit one, or if you don't hit both those points, you do not get monetized for YouTube. That doesn't mean you can't make content. It means you cannot put ads attached to them to get monetization, to get paid for it. That's what it means. Yeah, so it's 4,000 hours of watch time is basically what it means. It equals to about, I did the math on it, it was about 240,000 minutes total, or about 20, I think it was 24,000 minutes per month of watch time to make it monetized. No, that's good. Be yourself. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about here also is be yourself when you do YouTube. A lot of people will maybe make a character that they're doing. Me personally, the way you see Rook here, I try to have a PG-13 channel. I do have a mouth like a sailor, but I try to keep my content as clean as I possibly can because I have a lot of younger kids that watch my content. I know a lot of parents who watch my content. I try to make my content as clean as I possibly can and try to keep the language to a minimum as far as adult content, adult language. I try not to swear just because I know a lot of kids watch my content, and I'm very, very happy to do that. A lot of YouTubers out there have an adult-based channel, and that's fine if that's the audience you're going for. With this channel, with Rook Geek Goodness, this channel was not built for an adult content theme at all. Let's see here. Was it a? I have bullet points. I know for a fact if I'm going to be talking about an item, let's say I'm talking about an action figure, let's say it's a Green Lantern action figure, let's say it was a Super Friends version of Green Lantern, I would jot down bullet points on a note card. I would talk about when the cartoon ran. I would talk about who made it. I'll talk about maybe how many items there were in a case. how long that series was. I try to make those bullet points to hit those points, those pain points that I want to talk about. One thing I tried discussing, and I think I do a pretty decent job about it, is when I talk about an item, let's say an action figure, I try to give the audience a little bit of backstory, a little history lesson about the item. I did it with the Kyle Rayner Funko Pop. I talked about the New Guardian stuff with Kyle Rayner when he was a White Lantern. A lot of people may not even know he was a White Lantern and how long he ran for these particular books. So just a little history lesson, as I try to keep the content as truthful and as objective as I possibly can. I try not to give subjective information if I can hold it against you. I hold it against myself. I try to be as on point as I possibly can. Yep, 240,000 minutes exactly, which equals 4,000 hours of watch time. So YouTube made that adjustment, so I lost all my monetization. I made a video, I talked about that, thinking I was so mad going into that video. I was so upset losing my monetization. But I thought, I'm losing pennies on the dollar. I'm not losing a whole lot of money because I never really made a whole lot of money. My channel, in the grand scheme of thing of YouTube, is very, very small. It's very, very tiny. Which Spider-Man pop? Which pop are you talking about, Nicor? So that's what, if you're going into YouTube, no worries, dude, no worries. If you're going into YouTube thinking you're going to get rich quick scheme, you're going to make tons and tons of money, you really won't. If you really look at it this way, if someone made Ballpark, you had 1 million views on YouTube, let's make the assumption you're monetized, roughly Ballpark, if you work the numbers, about $2,000 for that video. That information is completely out there. You can do your research and find that information. It's about 1 million views. It's about $2,000 US, if you look that up. Oh, that's the new glow-in-the-dark one. That's a GameStop exclusive. That's the one from Gameverse. It's a black suit Spider-Man glow-in-the-dark. I know what you're talking about. So, just a little bit of information numbers-wise. So that's how much it normally goes for if you have that. Now, next point here. Before you shoot any video, you want to build a structure of how you'll get the content across to your audience. Your shooting schedule is very important. Your consistency is king for content. And do your homework and your research. No worries, I'm lazy too. So before you shoot anything, you want to look at your grand scheme of things for your channel. How many days of content do you want to put out? How much content regularly are you going to shoot? Think in mind also of your normal life. You don't want YouTube to overtake your life. You still want to have a life outside of YouTube. That's why I changed my shooting schedule up, and I probably will eventually down the line change it again. So I have my normal shooting content was originally when I started my channel was Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I shot for 3 days a week. I could put out that amount of content at a pretty even clip. Now, I don't have, so people might have tons of content in the can ahead of time, and they just release it whenever they want to release it. I shoot content the same day that a video goes up, usually. Unless something happens, or I lose my internet or have a problem. Usually I shoot content the same day the video goes, let's hypothetically on a Tuesday, I would put a piece of content together and present it and upload it on that Tuesday. Very few times I'm really ahead of the curve, because I kind of wing it as I go along. A lot of people have a lot more forethought into their content, and that's cool with them. If that works for them, that's fine. Usually I'll toy them around with an idea of what I want to present to the audience. But I originally shot Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I originally wanted to toy around with doing streaming, and now I brought streaming as an idea into my channel. So what I decided to do is remove a piece of content and give streaming on Monday. I would put another video up now on Wednesday, so I shifted the day to Wednesday, and I still have my Sunday, which I normally do content as well. So I shifted how my channel works a little bit about 7-8 months ago, as far as the stream goes right now that you're watching. So I recently changed up how the channel worked, and streaming has done very well for me. Definitely enjoy bringing content to you guys in sort of this live manner, something a little different that I don't normally do. Yep, I don't doubt it at all. I don't doubt it AA at all. I don't doubt it at all. It's something different. That's another thing I want to talk about also is can you bring content out to an audience that's different? Something that someone normally doesn't do. Let's take that Barbie doll thing, for example. They take a Barbie doll and change it, they customize it into a famous movie character. That's a very clever idea. It's very, very cool. I can see a lot of people doing that. Though something very, very different. A lot of people like different stuff. A lot of people like, crazy stuff. A lot of people like, weird videos. If you ask me personally, if I was going to do another channel, I'd probably do it with animals. I'd probably do it with cats or dogs. Because I can tell you for a fact, cats, dog videos gets tons and tons of views. Everybody likes watching dogs and cat videos on YouTube. It's a saturated market, absolutely, but there's always a market for it. I can see tons of videos of that. And they just, record their dog. Their dog could just be barking. And that video might have 80,000 views. And I watch that video, I'm like, why is this getting so many views? The pet's not doing anything, different or crazy or out of the ordinary. It's just barking at something or chasing its tail. Let's say the dog chased its tail. 60,000 views. I'm like, how is this getting so much views? People like that sort of stuff. At least from what I'm seeing. But as far as do your homework, do your research. Now, let's say, for example, you watch some of my videos. You like something I present or how I do a video. Take from me. Take that knowledge. Take the idea of how I shot something and take it and make it your own. Absolutely. Yep, I don't doubt it, AA. Absolutely. Nightcore, as far as an art channel be better, or should I go with a cartoon channel? That depends. Are you talking art like your own art? Or are you talking art that you're showcasing other people's art? It all depends. If you're doing cartoons, what I would do is if you're doing a review of a cartoon, or you want to definitely make your channel as far as what type of cartoons you're going to be talking about. Are you talking about American cartoons? Are you talking about Japanese animation? Are you talking about both? Are you going to be talking about older cartoons, newer cartoons? Are you going to be talking about rotoscoping? Are you talking about art techniques? It all depends what you're trying to get your point across. You definitely want to write down what you want this channel to be about. And block how much time you think you'll take for your videos. How many times a week can you present content consistently to an audience? That's what you want to make sure about. Consistency is king. You want to make sure you can present a piece of information to an audience that won't get bored of it and enjoy the content. Next, your first subscribers definitely should be your friends and family members. Start small. Don't expect a home run. Take baby steps. Watch your favorite YouTubers, let's say myself included, to see how they shoot videos. Understand their technique. Learn what they're doing. What makes them tick. Why does someone like their content? For example, Funko Hunters, the Pop Hunters. I like that content. That's one of the reasons, quite honestly, I got into Funko. I watched their videos. I watched how they did stuff. It was a couple. They were dating at one time. They're married now. But it was a guy and a girl, and they did Funko reviews. If you watch their content, really watch their content, you'll see some of their content rub off on my channel. Some of their bits they did, I actually incorporated some of their bits of video editing into my approach. I know, I didn't see any type of Adventure Time. I've never watched Adventure Time. Not my sort of thing. There are a lot of people out there who really enjoy it. But definitely take away from subscribers that you watch your channels that you enjoy. Take away from what they do and make it your own. Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I loved and hated Rook 180. Maybe you're a new viewer to my channel. Rook 180 was a segment I had. I recently canceled it. It was a review in 3 minutes or less, usually of blind boxes. I had to do a full review, meaning I had to open up the product, review the product, showcase off the paint, articulation, and accessories in 3 minutes or less. Usually there are two Funko items or mystery boxes, or let's say Titan vinyls, and I had to usually a round of voting where they would go head to head. So that's what I usually would do. The Funko Hunters, I think they're called the Funko Hunters, I believe they're called. It's you can look them up on YouTube. It's a guy and a girl, and they're married. That's how I based my channel off originally, at least from the Funko side of it, because all they really did was Funko. And that's why they have a decent following, because they were very specialized. I'm not a specialized channel per se. I have lots of different things, and that's one reason why my views are not as high as they could be. It's mainly because I diversify my channel very, very much. I split it into multiple segments, as opposed to just being Funko, or just being action figures, or just being unboxing videos. A lot of people are out there just are unboxers. That's all they do is unboxing videos, specifically. And they have a decent following for it. And all people watch is just unboxing videos. I wanted to do more things. I wanted to take a different approach. Did it hurt my channel? It did. Because my channel is not as big as it could be, because I have diversified myself into many different things. But I enjoy it, because those are the things I collect and enjoy myself. Nerd therapy now, that's what it was. Exactly, nerd therapy. Nerd therapy. I think they're called the Funko Hunters on Facebook, I think is their name. But the nerd therapy is what I took their approach to a lot of things and tweaked it to make it my own channel. And they do a really good job on stuff. Exactly, AA. Some people just watch blind box unboxings. Some people just watch that stuff, and they pick their favorite unboxers, unboxing personalities. I tried to do that. The biggest problem with unboxing videos for subscription boxes is that it gets very, very expensive. Those boxes that come in usually have a price point of about $25 to $30, sometimes even more dollars per month, and that's per month. So if you're doing, let's say, hypothetically 4 to 6 boxes a month, you're looking anywhere from $150 to $200 just on boxes alone. It becomes extremely expensive. It becomes an extremely expensive hobby. And I was like, I can't keep doing that. That's just ridiculous. I wouldn't be able to afford, I wouldn't be able to live, doing unboxings that way. Not at all. Mini mysteries? Yeah, you could. That's why I think one reason Rook 180 was I think it was popular and yet not popular at the same time. One thing with Rook 180 was I want to use the word trailblazer, because I could probably say no one on YouTube was attempting a 3-minute speed review of blind boxes before. And more to that, I had a caveat attached to it. If I could not review that item in 3 minutes or less, you literally see my cell phone counting down the time. And as soon as that buzzer went off and I was still talking, I lost. And I'd have prizes up on a line that would go into giveaways if I couldn't do it in 3 minutes or less. It was daunting. It was very, very ballsy. It was very brave to do something like that. No one, as far as I know on YouTube, attempted something like that. It was very, very different, and I really enjoyed doing Rook 180. Oh, thanks, Nicor. Thank you very much. So, I attempted to do the Rook 180 videos. The problem was I think I had a lot of burnout. And not necessarily with myself, but I don't think the audience liked it as much as it did when it originally started. I don't know if anybody else was going and made a different direction and they took the idea and ran with it. I knew a couple different YouTubers that messaged me and said, hey, I like the Rook 180 segment. I want to use it. Will you let me? I had no problem people using my content as long as they give credit to the person who came up with the idea. If they said, hey, check out Rook, he actually started the whole Rook 180 thing, the 3-minute speed review, definitely take a look at his stuff. I'd have no problem with that. If they can do it better than I can, more power to them. But that's what I usually would do. And Rook 180 I thought was very, very fun to do. It was extremely stressful to do it. Because mind you, when I did the Rook 180 segment, I did it in one take. I had one shot at those unboxing videos. For even my normal subscription unboxing videos, I have one take. I can't put the stuff back into the box and fake an unboxing. I could, but I don't like doing that. It basically feels like cheapening the experience to the audience. I try to give you the shock and awe of me either finding something, opening something, or showcasing something to the audience. No problem, Nicor. I'll be here. As I said in point 5 here, your first subscribers should be your family members. Absolutely. Let me circle back to that. Go with your family members. Let them know you're starting a YouTube channel. Have them follow you. I have my family following me on my channel. Go small. Don't go massive yet, because you don't know how it's really going to work. If you have a video that goes viral and breaks out, more power to you. I had a video that was picked up on Social Blade. At one time I was on with a network, and I'll talk about that in a second. With Social Blade also had a networking structure where you could basically have them put videos up in your name, but they take a huge cut of your ad revenue. So I would not recommend going with a network. But my video got showcased on the front page for Social Blade, and one of my videos blew up. It didn't get into the hundreds and thousands of views. It got like 1,200 views. To me, that's a lot. Any type of video from me personally gets 100 views or more is a successful video for me. Now, if you notice in the top right corner of your screen, you'll see where it says 1720. That's my subscriber count. Usually a video, they always give you the 10% rule. You'd want your videos to be about 10% of your subscribers in views. So normally, I should be getting about 172 views per video. That doesn't happen. And the reason why that doesn't happen is my subscriber base, my number you see in the top right corner of your screen, is extremely loaded. And it's loaded in the wrong way. I'll talk about that momentarily here. Next, let's talk a little bit, I'll talk about more about subscribers in a second. Let's talk about gear. Let's talk about lighting. Let's talk about cameras. How should you shoot your stuff? Personally speaking, all you really need is one of these. All you need is your smartphone. You really don't need a whole lot of tech to start out with. I started my channel with my cell phone. Personally speaking, I hated the way it came out quality-wise. At least from my personal experience. Also, I wasn't good at shooting videos yet. I didn't learn the right way to shoot videos. There's a right way and a wrong way to shoot videos. If you're taking videos, mind you, if you're taking it with your phone, never shoot a video like this, please. Always shoot it in landscape. Never shoot it in portrait, which is up and down. Just FYI, when you have the bars on the side of the screen for your videos, never shoot a video like that, please. It's lazy. It's very poor. Always shoot it sideways. Always. No problem, STS. Glad to see you back. Never ever shoot a video in portrait. Always shoot it landscape. Now, you don't need fancy equipment or fancy lighting yet. I wanted to go all in. I wanted to go and try to get the best possible experience both with video, with sound, and with light. So, let me show you what I use personally, what I use for shooting my videos. The camera that you see me shoot with is this guy right here. It's a Canon camera. It's on a tripod that I use. It's called a Vizia HF-R700. This is what my camera is that I use, a Canon. This is normally on a very tall tripod that I use. That camera goes for about close to $300. I invested a lot in my channel. I bet you do. Also for light. Let me show you what I do for light. Here's one of my lighting rigs. I have two of these that I use for my channel. Let me cut the light here. This is the lighting rig I use. This is called a Neewer Neewer 6700. So let me take it off this tripod. This tripod does not come with this light rig. I purchased this tripod separately. I have two of these tripods. This goes up to about 8 feet. But let me show you my light piece here so you can see what I use for my lighting. Because people have asked before. So this is a Neewer 6700, a Neewer CN 160. Why it's called 160? It comes with these smoke glasses. These are inserts. There's 160 little LED lights here. I have another lighting rig like this one that's shining right now, but it has one of these bulbs have burnt out, so I need to replace it. This is a very, very cool piece of lighting. It's not expensive. I think it was like 25, 30 bucks on Amazon. It was not expensive at all. It comes in one of two configurations, so you'll know. If you look on the back here, you'll see, right like that, there's a battery pack. You can either use AA's, as you see, or this rechargeable pack. I have 4 of these packs that I currently use. I go through these exceptionally fast, meaning I can put this on full charge and I could go through one video. It will last about an hour. About half illumination, you're looking between, I would say, 2 to 3 hours. If it's on low, you're looking at about 3 to 4. If I have this thing set at full brightness, like this, I don't want to blind everyone, but it's full brightness. I'll go back a little bit so you can see. It's extremely bright. That's how I actually shoot my videos. Let me put it back on my tripod here. But I usually don't put it super bright. 1 second here, guys. Let me put it back to light so you can see. And it makes a difference. As you can see in the scene right now, that's no light. That's light. So there is a big difference when I shoot video with my lights. Absolutely. Let me come back into the actual shot now. Very cool, Nicor. So definitely as far as light goes, wait, lower that a little bit too much. There we go. As far as light goes, use what you can use for lighting. You don't need lighting rigs like this. It's very, very cheap. It's not very expensive to get it. But make an investment that you think is best for your channel. You don't have to sink a ton of money into it. You definitely, when you start your channel, though, when you actually begin building it and blocking it out, we'll talk about that next. So basically start out with your smartphone first. If that doesn't work for you, get an inexpensive camera. It doesn't have to be this camera here. Do your research. Definitely use your tools. Use, let's say, Amazon. Definitely go to Amazon. Look around for the best possible lighting or camera that you can get your hands on. If you want to shoot inside a light box, meaning if you're going to do stuff inside a light box, be wary of it. Only because I tried doing it. I have a light box that I use. It's a 12-inch by 12-inch light box. It's very, very small. Farming videos on Red and Go? Farming as far as what? Are you talking like farming? Or are you talking about farming in gaming? I'll talk about gaming in a second also. But definitely get the equipment that's best for you based on your budget. You don't have to go absolutely crazy. Get what you can use. You only really need, like I said, you only really need your phone to really start with. You don't need anything really out of the way. Yep, see, I figured Ringo. You could do farming videos. The biggest problem you're going to run into is competition. There's a lot of people out there who do specifically just farming videos for gaming. I used to be a big World of Warcraft player, so I understand the terminology farming. Also, you have to probably do it through Twitch. Twitch is the platform that's really designed for gaming. I couldn't tell you a whole lot about Twitch, only because I don't do it. I do mainly YouTube streaming videos. Could I do Twitch? Absolutely. But I don't know a whole lot about Twitch itself as a platform. I know you have a lot more customization compared to YouTube. You can do donations, you can get bits and things like that. I know the lingo a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous, rather. But as far as gaming goes, I would do what you know about. Definitely take a look at some of the bigger farmers out there. There's people out there that have tons and tons of research, tons and tons of material on just farming. I've watched several videos about it myself just to see what they're actually doing now in World of Warcraft, because I haven't played since the beginning of Cataclysm. That's when I got out of WoW, because it was becoming a second job. I was in a very competitive guild. It wasn't like server first, but it was very competitive back then. But I understand why people get addicted to WoW specifically. It can be a very addictive game. Let's talk next about social networking is paramount if you want to try to break into YouTube. Before you shoot anything, you want to set up your pages for your social networking framework. You definitely want to be in Facebook. You want to set up a Facebook page. You want to set up a Twitter page. You want to set up an Instagram page. Those three platforms absolutely you want to have constructed. My personal Instagram stuff, I don't do a whole lot with it. I'll maybe post, let's say, these guys, I'll show us, hey, I got this as a birthday gift. Or I'll say, hey, on Instagram, I got my AJ Styles pop. But I don't post a whole lot of stuff to Instagram. Twitter and Facebook, are my two main outlets when it comes to new video and information. Also, when you're on Facebook, definitely network to other sort of things you're doing. Meaning, if you're doing, let's say, Funko reviews, look for Funko groups, join them, see if you can post your content on those group pages. You want to get your name out there as much as you can. Be very careful about Reddits and subreddits. Subreddits and Reddits do not like if you try to get your stuff on their platform. Some groups, they will ban you. They will ban that content. They don't like advertising your content on their platform unless you usually ask first. Some places will not have an issue with it. Some will. Now, the other networking that I actually recommend going with here is, get my points here, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, definitely. Next one, also try other forms of social media besides those well-recognized ones. For example, I'm very, very big in the Amino community. And it's not Amiibo, it's Amino. Amino, I'll kind of like showcase it to you guys here in a second so you can kind of understand what it's all about. I stumbled across it when I first started the channel in 2016. Amino is on multiple, I think it's on both Android and iPhone platforms. But basically, if you look here, you'll see all my Amino groups. Literally, these are sort of like groups about different sorts of content. For example, I have YouTube Help, I have Action Figure Amino, I have Funko, I have YouTube Families, I have Geekdom, Wrestling Communities, All Things Comic, DC Entertainment. And you can join these groups and post your content to those actual pages. It's a way, the only issue that you're going to run into is I don't believe that if they click the video that you embed, you get a video click for it. However, if they like your content, they'll subscribe to your channel. You're trying to make and reach a larger community than you normally have access to. That's the whole point of networking. That's the idea. Of course I can. Everyone has their opinions, STS. But I used Amino when I actually was trying to leverage my channel. I joined a lot of groups. I did a lot of discussions. They have a lot of public chat rooms. It's very similar to like an old school bulletin board system. It's very similar to, let's say, a subreddit, but you can embed videos. Things like that. Hey, Bizarre, Supergirl, how's it going? That's kind of the way it works. And that's why I liked Amino, because you can pretty much find any Amino community out there. If you like Star Trek or Star Wars, if you like Funko, if you like action figures, if you like DC, if you like Marvel, if you like World of Warcraft, if you like Supernatural, if you like horror, you like anything, you like wrestling. Yep. So, I mean, that's one thing, Ringo, that I really, really like about the Amino. And I think it's only mobile. I don't think they have an actual PC platform. I've only ever seen it on a mobile-based front. I've never seen it on a desktop PC. But definitely use Amino as a tool, as a way to grow your channel. Now, that being said, this was a con. This is something I did wrong. And please, guys, please, please, listen to what I'm telling you. Please, 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 please listen to me about this one. Do not do sub for sub. Now, if you're not familiar with the terminology sub for sub, that basically means I'm going to sub to your channel, subscribe, and you're going to subscribe to my channel. Remember I told you I'd come back to that right here, over, right, if I can get over here, that number right there to the corner, right there. That number that I have on my channel for subscribers is really misleading. I really don't have 1,720 subscribers. I don't. I can tell you with pretty good assertion, that number is extremely loaded, and mainly because it was from the Amino community, as why it's so heavily loaded. When I was trying to break into YouTube, my first Funko, Prince Lucky, my first set of Funkos were the 4 Big Bang Theories. Leonard, Sheldon, Raj, and I lost the name now. Howard. Those are the 4 original Big Bang Theory Pops were my very first Funko Pops I owned. And they're probably one of my most important Funko Pops because of the first 4 I ever owned. But the numbers that you see from my channel is not really true. It's very, very misleading. I would say, quite honestly, I have probably about, of that number, that 1720 that you see there, I would say maybe 40% of that are dead subscribers. That I can't tell if they're legit subscribers or not, because all I can see is a big group of subscribers. I can't tell if they still watch the content or not, because I don't know. So that number is really misleading. I'd rather, quite honestly, be truthful, I would love to have less than 1,000 subscribers. Be quite honest with you guys. Because that would be more realistic to where my views are from my channel. Some of my videos I might get maybe 50 views, or 60 views, or 70 views, or 40 views. I could tell by my audience, when you start doing this enough, where your viewers lie. And I can tell that viewer count is not correct. I have a lot of dead subs because I was trying to push my channel so much, so hard, that I was doing anything I possibly can to get subscribers. So I was thinking subscribers is what the important thing is. It's a piece of the puzzle. It's not the entire puzzle. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's a piece of the puzzle of YouTube. It's not the full puzzle. You need both subscribers and you need watch time in minutes. Those are the two biggest points on YouTube. It's not only how many people watch, but how long they watch. That is what you need to be monetized. Again, going back to monetization, you need both pieces of that puzzle to get paid. 1,720 subscribers right now is not a real number for me. I know you did, Jackie. Thank you very much. I know you like my content. But that was my biggest mistake. Don't try to do sub for sub. It will not work. It will always think it the dark side of the force. It's the quicker path. It's not necessarily the better path. Don't do sub for sub. It's actually, you can get banned from YouTube by doing that. What are those red Twinkies called with the coconut sprinkles called? Sounds like snowballs to me, but they're not really Twinkies. If it's coconut, it sounds like snowballs. But I would not recommend sub for sub. You want to make sure people engage in your content. They may not watch your videos all the time, and that's fine. You would love to have people watch your content all the time, but that doesn't really happen all the time. Much like I have different content all over the place. Again, subscription unboxings, Funko reviews, action figures, statues, toy hunting. I do different things all across the board. And I enjoy doing it. That's why I'm not dedicated to one particular genre. Yep, and that's one of the things also, Rengo, is if you have less views, it won't hit their algorithm as much. But if you're having people who are watching your content and the watch time in minutes is high, usually you'll get the views with it. Zingers? Maybe. King Snake. Oh, how's it going, King Snake? Thanks for coming in the chat. But definitely, sub for sub is not the way to go. I fell into that trap, and it hurt me now. If I would have known what I've learned back in 2016, what I know now, I wouldn't do it. I would have had a much smaller subscriber count and have people who are more loyal and enjoy my content. More times people ask the question, do you push out content every single day? I don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that, some people can do that. I don't do that. I don't want to get burnt out. And two, if I give you and cram so much content down your throat, you're going to miss something, and I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure that you can enjoy the content and come back to it. I've seen people who will put content up 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos a day. But that's their job. They actually are big subscribers on YouTube. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They have millions of views. That is their actual physical job. That's what they do. A guy I love watching is a YouTuber. That's his job, is Jesse Cox. If you guys never checked him out, hilarious guy. He lives in California. He has no clue who I am. I love watching his content. I stumbled across him when he was with Total Biscuit. If you don't know who Total Biscuit is, fortunately he passed away a few months ago from cancer. Great guy. I watched them when they were doing their Terraria series. I got hooked to his content, or Jesse's content. Hilarious guy. Absolutely, you will go dying laughing. Great guy. You never checked, and this is not me to plug his channel. He has no clue who I am, but hilarious guy. Definitely take a look at his stuff. But also, as I said, you want watch time in minutes. one thing you also want to take notice to, it's important, but it's not necessarily the most important, is your video retention. And what I mean by that is that when you have creator studios on YouTube, on your YouTube algorithm, all your information, you can see through the retention of where your videos start trailing off as far as they're watching, people who are watching your videos. It breaks down second by second on an average of when people tune out. And you can see and you can adjust accordingly your videos as far as your length goes. I always recommend to subscribers or people who want to try to build their channel, make your videos as long as you need them to be. A rule of thumb, the shorter the better. People have very, very short attention spans. I try to make my videos normally, unless it's an unboxing video or a video review, let's say a Funko review, I try to make it between 5 and 7 minutes long. Longer than that, I will lose people. I know that for a fact. Absolutely, I'll lose people. If it's an unboxing video, it might go a little longer. I don't make anything on YouTube right now, Ringo. I make nothing. My videos are not monetized right now. It's because I do not have 4,000 hours of concurrent watch time. I have about, I want to say, probably if you count my entire channel's history, I probably have it through my entire channel's history, but it has to be within 12 months. And that's my issue. That's one trap that I fell into, is because people, I might have the subscriber count as you see, or over here again, right there we go, right there, but I don't have the watch time in minutes. It's unfortunate. One of the videos, which is very, very odd, I think one of my videos picked up traction. And I mentioned that a couple times, a video that has traction. Ringo, glad, if you want to, absolutely, plug my stuff. I use the word traction lots where the internet itself, YouTube, maybe an algorithm or another YouTuber will maybe take a video and they'll put it on a playlist. One of the videos I can show you here has picked up what I call traction. It's a newer video that came out, I would say 3 or 4 months ago, and it's probably one of my most watched videos now, which I don't understand why. Maybe because it's controversial. It's this one right here. It's doing really, really well for me. It's the SH Figure Arts White Ranger figure, Don't Buy This Figure video review I did. It has 1,752 views, 17 comments, 27 thumbs up, 13 thumbs down. That's another thing I want to definitely make a note about. If anybody ever comments on a video, always reply to the comment. Always. Even if it's a 1 or 2 words, if it's thanks or thanks for watching or whatever the case may be, always say something. Always interact and engage with your audience, no matter how small you might think that is. You're going to laugh at every single person that have ever commented on a video of mine. I will give you a response back. Maybe not immediately, but I'll respond back to a comment, because I always do, because I'm very, very thankful for what I do. I bring to you guys content. I try to be educational. I try to be objective and give you my opinion about something, whatever that thing is. Good, bad, or different. I've fallen, stumbled, and made bad videos before. But I try to give you my opinion, my take on something. Again, I'm not the greatest toy hunter in the world. I think I'm pretty entertaining at times. I'm kind of silly when it comes across on camera. There are guys that are much better at doing it out there than I am, especially in the Florida area. But I think I do okay. I think, again, my channel is small. Do I wish I had 100,000 subscribers? Absolutely. But I don't. And I understand my place in YouTube. I get it. Would I love to be bigger? Heck yeah. Would I love to quit my job and just do YouTube? Absolutely. That'd be a dream come true. To get paid to review toys? Who wouldn't like that? But again, it doesn't pay the bills for me. I have to make sure that I can take care of myself. Usually also, if you do searches for new product, new things that come out, usually if you're first to market on it, first to YouTube, usually you can get some view, you get a decent bit of traction. That White Ranger video that I showed, that toy came out in 2013. There were a lot of people who reviewed that already. But I came at it at a different direction. I came at it with a bit of a negative twist to it. if you watch the video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Where I'm telling the audience, don't buy this figure, not because the figure is bad, but because it costs so much money on the secondary market, and a new release of it's coming out this year. So I said, don't buy this figure. It just costs too much money. That's what I was getting at. And I think people could understand what I was coming from in that video. Tags are also very important. Absolutely. Tags, you want to make sure you tag your videos properly. And that's what I wanted to get to, my next bullet point here. When you tag your videos, what I mean by tags, when you actually put it together, near the bottom when you're putting together your video, tag your video with important search terms. If you're doing, hypothetically, let's say you're doing Batman. Let's say a new Batman toy came out. You want to put in DC Comics, Bruce Wayne, Batman, Batman animated series, anything that's Batman related that you know of, that you can search for, you want those tags in there. Absolutely. Because that's how it will drive people to your video. Like for that White Ranger video I was talking about, as far as what I put in for my tags, I put in a ridiculous amount of tags on this one. I put in, let's see, I put in Power Rangers, Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, MMPR, action figures, my name, Rook Geek Goodness, SH Figure Arts, Jason David Frank, who played White Ranger, JDF, Tommy Oliver, which was White Ranger's name, White Ranger itself, Green Ranger, Go-Go Power Rangers, Don't Buy This Figure, Action Figure, and Shattered Grid, because Shattered Grid was the comic title for the Power Rangers' biggest storyline that it did for Dynamite Comics. So stuff that I knew of going in, I did my research of how I would attack the tags on that channel, on that video. Next, you're probably going to ask, how would I edit my videos on YouTube? That all depends on what type of video editing software you want to use. Again, I came at it from the perspective of I didn't know what I was doing. I did some research and I found a video suite that I'm using called Wondershare or Filmora. That's what I use to do all my video editing on. And when I tell you guys, video editing is not very difficult. It's basically a timeline. It's very easy to cut information down. It's not hard. You can find tons of tutorials on how to do it. I didn't watch any tutorials. I did it. It was literally trial and error. It was me putting some content in, putting a video in, and trying to cut it and put it together myself. So just so you know, it takes a bit of knowledge and experience to learn how to use these tools, but once you grasp it, it's not difficult. I could probably teach my mother how to do it. It's not very hard. iPhone, iMovie, yep, editing. It's again not very difficult. It's not too difficult to actually do video editing. You can get very cheap softwares. Now be wary, if you find one that has, let's say, a watermark in the corner, you want to steer clear from that, only because it makes the video seem cheap, because you're not paying for the licensing. That's how they usually will. They'll put the, you could probably use the software for free, or maybe you can learn how to use it. But if you try to upload that video, you get the watermark off the whatever software you're using's name. They usually attach that. Usually when you purchase a software, that will remove that watermark. The Wondershare Filmora that I currently use, it was a license. It was a unlimited license. It was about $50 to buy the software. So it's not super expensive. As far as my thumbnails that you see me use, I use an older version of Photoshop. Again, I learned Photoshop on the fly. I was never taught how to use it. I didn't go to school for it, so I learned how to do it. You would need a computer or a laptop to normally do it. However, you can get mobile-based video editing. There is a Filmora mobile suite you can use that will work just as well as the Filmora desktop. They have different pieces you can use, but I actually put together videos on the mobile version of Filmora. It's not super difficult. And that's basically my YouTube story. That's how basically I broke in. Yep. That's how I broke into YouTube. Definitely take some knowledge out of this stream. Learn what I did well and what I didn't do well. Definitely don't do sub for sub. Definitely learn from other YouTubers. Go out there and research. Make sure when you're putting out content, you have some type of thematic. You know what you're going to do. Also, definitely make sure when you build your channel, you have a wallpaper design for your backdrop. Only because if you don't have that wallpaper design in place, you couldn't normally do messaging, but I think they've removed the messaging functionality in YouTube now. I think they took it away a few months ago. you needed what they're called a banner. That's what it's called. You want to have branding. You want to make sure if you're not going to be talking about yourself or you build a persona. Of course, my real name is not Rook. I use Rook Geek Goodness as my brand, as my type that I try to actually put together for my channel. But that's what I talk to people out in the wild. I talk to collecting and hobbies. He calls me Rook all the time. I call him, he goes by the name of Admiral Akbar. So I call him AA all the time for collecting and hobbies. That's how I refer to him. That's how he refers to me. Very similar to, like, say, a wrestling gimmick. That's how we usually talk to one another. Absolutely. I don't think you should give up on YouTube, Ringo. It all depends on what you're trying to do. I wouldn't give up on it. Like I said, break down what you want your channel to be about. Definitely have an idea of what you want to do and how you want to present it to an audience. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's basically what I did for my channel. That's how I learned how to do it. Again, before you shoot any videos, jot down all your ideas. Build your structure ahead of time before you jump into the deep end of the pool. You want to walk before you run. Definitely go in small steps first. Model your stuff after other YouTubers. Learn what they did right and wrong. I'm telling you right now, if this is free knowledge, learn how I did it. Again, I did stuff right, I did stuff wrong. Can you make a channel review? Sure you can. I wouldn't do a reaction channel, but you can do a channel review. I know a lot of people that were doing just channel reviews. They would do movie reviews. I knew a guy in another YouTube group that I was in that all he did was movie reviews. That's what his thing was. But you have to be able to be very cognitive of the actual movie itself. You have to know a lot about that movie. You have to give, I would say, as much as an objective reaction or an objective viewpoint as you possibly can. You really don't want to be super subjective about the movie. Was the movie really, really bad? Well, why was it bad? You know, was it an issue with the dialogue? Was the acting horrible? What was it? And one thing that Star Wars Collecting Hobbies talked about, and want to end the stream with this, guys, do YouTube because it is just that. It's fun. When YouTube stops being fun, stop making content. Or basically pull away from the channel. Stop making content for an extended period of time if you want to get out of YouTube for a while. If you have what they call YouTube burnout. Definitely do that. Can you review my channel because I don't get you? You don't get me? What don't you get, Ringo? You can edit videos with your phone. Absolutely. Like I said, I had the Filmora mobile version. You can just basically put it in, and you can absolutely edit videos. They have mobile versions which are as good as mobile PC versions. You just have to find those versions that's best for you. Again, Filmora had one. Oh, you can do tons of stuff, AA. Absolutely. I can take a video on Filmora, put one of my videos in with pieces. I could put all sorts of effects in. I can put in picture-in-picture. I can do all sorts of stuff that I could normally do. Same thing on my computer. It just takes a little bit more work. Yep. And also, most phones nowadays have the power to do it. If you were curious, I'm using a Galaxy S8, which is what this guy is right here. But absolutely, most newer phones should have the capability of doing it. But that's about it in this stream, guys. Ran over 10 minutes. I was very happy to be back doing content with you guys again. This Wednesday's video, I will be drawing the Star Wars Last Jedi prize pack for my video for Wednesday. Sunday, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing content-wise. It might be a toy hunt. I'm thinking a toy hunt. Filmora will have a watermark, but I think the software for Filmora Mobile, I'll give you one, let me check real quick for you. Check in the Play Store. It's called Filmora Wondershare. It's Filmora Go, I think it's called. I think it's called Filmora Go. Hold on 1 second here. Filmora. There's multiple versions of it. I think I paid for it originally. They have a free version. It'll look something like that. I'll let it focus so you can see it. That's the free version. The real version, if you were curious, I think cost, I want to say $2.99 or $3.99 for it, and it will remove the watermark. So Filmora Go is not a bad video editing software. I use Wondershare Filmora now on my video editing. I preferred the older version of Filmora, not the newer version. The older one, if you watch some of my older videos, you'll see different text that I was using. I thought it was a little more user-friendly compared to what it is now. There's a lot more text templates you can use. They try to be a lot more fancy, but I don't think being fancy made it better. I like the older one better, personally speaking. But I think that's about it on the stream today, guys. Again, I want to thank everyone who came into the stream. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream. I'm going to be closing it out today. Wednesday, again, is going to be the prize pack giveaway for the Star Wars Last Jedi. And I'm thinking Sunday's probably going to be a toy hunt. I'm itching to do a toy hunt. Fillmore, it's going to have, the problem, Ringo, before I'll cut out with you, is that anyone that you find that's a video editing software is probably going to have a watermark unless you spend a small amount of money for it. But normal mobile versions, mobile-based video editing software is usually pretty cheap. It's only a few dollars for most of them. They're not super expensive. So that's about it, guys. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream today. I'm going to be cutting it off here. We had 9 people in chat, so we're going to be heading out. I'm going to be cutting it out right now. So thanks, everybody, coming in. We're going to be cutting it in 3, 2, 1. Thanks for coming in, guys. Take care, and bye-bye.